Listings were up by double digits in December going into the new year. Are we in for a market change? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a bad time to sell? Let's figure out exactly what's happening for buyers and sellers today and identify some key things to think about going into 2024 and whether now is really the time that you should invest in real estate. And yes, I did say invest, because whether you plan to live in the property and raise a family there or not, it's always an investment. And for most people, it's the largest investment of their life. So stick around so you can ensure you don't miss my predictions of what 2024 is going to bring. If you don't know me, I'm Laurenm McCown, and a local realtor that helps buyers and sellers navigate the real estate market every day. If you like videos that cover real estate trends, buyers and sellers tips, and happenings around the state of Michigan, be sure to click the subscribe button. Now, I'm not a huge fan of getting into the weeds with data, so I'm not going to bore you with all of the stats, but I did analyze our market report, and here are the key things that I think you need to know about the real estate market right now. There was an influx of new homes on the market. In fact, new listings are up year over year by 12.8%. This means that there's more inventory for buyers to pick from on the market. Now, sellers, we have to be a bit more mindful when it comes to pricing and marketing your property. It's no longer the time where we can just put a house on the market and expect it to sell in the first day well over asking. Now, don't get me wrong, that's still happening in certain markets where inventory of homes is tighter, but it's just not the norm these days. When it comes to selling, you have to make sure you have a super solid marketing plan and it's priced correctly to get as many eyes on it as possible. This is when it's important to make sure that you're interviewing the right realtor and you know what they're going to do for you to get your home sold. Not just take pictures with their cell phone and cross their fingers that it sells. This extra inventory is something that I'm gonna keep an eye on and see what this might mean for the spring market. If we continue to see this increase in inventory month after month, it might actually mean a fairly balanced market for buyers and sellers and less of a frenzy like we've seen in the past few years. The second thing I want to share with you is that pendings and closed sales were down to wrap up 2023. Pendings were down about 2.8% and closed sales were down about 8.2% year over year. While that's pretty normal to see a dip at the end of the year with the holidays and less people focusing on making a move, especially with the interest rates being high at this point last year, if it continues, that's when we might not see sellers get top dollar for their homes. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one, and if we continue to see this dropping over the next few months, that might be more of a reality to worry about. Now, what does this truly mean for you if you're thinking of buying or selling this year? I've got some advice. I think going into the spring market, we're gonna see a relatively normal market, meaning sellers getting what their home is worth and buyers not having to overly compete. I know that sounds just too good to be true. I get it. We haven't seen a normal market here in a while, but given the trends that I'm seeing, I think this might be what we could expect. For buyers specifically, if you've been waiting through the frenzy that has been the last few years, this is finally your time to shine. You might be saying, well, I heard interest rates are supposed to drop. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. That would be a mistake. You're right that interest rates are rumored to be dropping this year, and if I had to predict, I would say that that'll probably be closer to the second half of the year. But here's why you don't want to wait for that to happen. Just like you, other buyers are waiting to see what happens, and they want to get the lowest rate. Trust me, I want you to get the lowest interest rate too. As soon as rates drop, we're going to see a huge increase in buyers looking and competing for homes again. Multiple offers, over asking, you name it. that could all be coming back if rates drop. I really think that the best thing you could do is look and find a home now. You're gonna have more houses to choose from, some of which you might even be able to get a deal on when it comes to maybe a lower price or help with your closing costs. And the best part is that if we do see a dip in interest rates later this year, then you're already gonna be in your home that you didn't have to compete for, and you'll be able to refinance to lower your interest rate. It's really the best of both worlds. Less competition and the ability to get the lowest interest rate possible. Sellers, my best advice for you is to make a move sooner rather than later. When a property is marketed and priced correctly, I'm still seeing sellers get market value or even a little bit more for their home. Now, you might be wondering if it makes sense to wait until interest rates drop to consider selling, because maybe you would get a little bit more for your home. And I totally understand that logic. But something to consider is that you're likely going to be buying a home when you sell too. After all, 70% of people that sell their home buy another one. So this means that if you wait, you'll likely end up competing against all of the other buyers. I think you're so much better off making your current house show really well and ensure that you're working with an agent that has a great marketing plan, like me, to get the most out of it now, and then buy a home with my buyer recommendation. Buy now, and then you can refi later when interest rates drop. You're gonna protect the most equity that way, and you're gonna be able to capitalize on the lowest interest rate possible. So whether you're a buyer or a seller in 2024, I think we can agree that the best time to act is as soon as possible, given some of the changes that might be coming for us later this year. I really can't stress enough how important it is to work with someone that can guide you to make the best financial decisions based on your specific needs. If you're watching this and you would like advice on your specific situation, don't hesitate to reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to help. And if you're a seller and you're wondering maybe what your home might be worth, feel free to click the link down here. That's gonna give you a free instant evaluation so you get a ballpark range. It's by no means perfect, but it at least will give you an idea. You can find my contact information below as well, and feel free to watch this video if you wanna learn a little bit more about me and working together.